for joining the session. My name is Bill Dobbins. I'm the head of business development for Visa. And for the last 7 years, I've been very active working with many of you and with NAMA to expand cashless payment in the unattended space. Now, when I think back to, even 7 years ago to today, it's hard to walk the floor without seeing cashless and the different types of innovation associated with cashless payment, or attending our sessions. And for those of you who are junkies for this like I am, you probably would be surprised to know that we have about 2 million devices now, cashless payment devices in market. And I'm really excited to have an opportunity today to talk to two of the people that are making that happen, innovators growing cashless payment. So why don't I start with introducing your primary speakers. To my right, Paresh Patel. He's the CEO and founder of PayRange. Now, on the note, Paresh has indicated, and I've known him for a few years now, he's a lifelong entrepreneur that focuses on bringing, look at this, I can do it without the card, focuses on bringing innovation and disruption to established markets to create new profitable solutions. Farthest from me is Eric Kaled. Now, Eric is the Senior Vice President and General Manager of Crane Connectivity Solutions. Now, I don't know Eric as long, but we did have dinner last night. He's had multiple roles in his space, in payment, in retail, in vending. And I think you're going to find these gentlemen are going to be able to really tell you what's going on in the marketplace. So why don't we get started? Here's my first question. You two recently announced a partnership, and it's very interesting to me. Can you tell the audience a little bit about the partnership that you've formed, what it means to the industry? And I'll start with Paresh. Why don't you take a start?
Yeah, no, thanks, Bill. Happy to be here, and we're super excited about the partnership we are embarking on with Crane here. And the way we look at it is Crane is a industry leader in bringing payment and vending automated retail solutions out there, as well as connectivity solutions. And when we looked at how do we bring more solutions out to the marketplace, Crane was an obvious choice for us to try to figure out a way to partner with them. Our partnership is a classic synergy, if you will, where 1 + 1 = 3. And working together, we can bring greater adoption out there by building momentum on engaging the consumer. And this is one of those things where if we don't work together, I think it would just take a lot longer to get that adoption. And by working together, they're getting there a lot faster.
Excellent. Eric, any thoughts on the partnership?
Yeah, a couple comments just to complement what Paresh did. So this is pretty exciting for us. One of the things we look for when we do strategic partnerships is satisfaction to our 2 strategic principles. So the first one is enablement of all items that are in a consumer's wallet. So whether it's cash, contactless credit card, chip and pin, EMV, mobile payment, it's our responsibility to make sure that we can provide access to all those that consumers want to use to pay. And that's an ongoing investment that we do. The second strategic principle is associated with our vision. So our vision is to simplify consumers' experience with connectivity technology. And one of the things that Paresh and I talked about, why this is a good partnership, is that we're able to take the PayRange technology, integrate it into our connectivity box that also enables credit card payment, other mobile payment, and cash diagnostics all in one hardware solution. And that to me satisfies both our principles and makes a very good solution for the most important people, which is our end customers.
Yes, that's right. And we were talking about that before. I mean, it sounds like you put a complete solution together that really lets the customer decide how they want to pay, which is outstanding.
Exactly.
All right, so Paresh, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And this is always interesting me. So unlike many in the space, you focused it on a different way to get to cashless. You utilize BLE or Bluetooth Low Energy technology in your solution.
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit about how that works and really what customers are saying about that in the marketplace?
Yeah, no, great question. So as you know, our solution is very different from the NFC-based solutions out there, such as Apple Pay or Google Pay or any of those types of solutions out there. And our solution does require an app on the phone, but what that does is it allows us to engage with the consumer much deeper than just the payment of the transaction. So while we facilitate payment, what our end goal is actually create an engagement with the user that goes much farther. It goes into marketing and promotions and loyalty and rewards. And all of that is enabled through the Bluetooth, basically. But it's at a level where we can do a lot more than just payment.
Outstanding. And I've seen you do this before. How easy is it to deploy your technology?
Well, it's great you asked because I got Blue Key in my pocket. So basically what happens is our device is literally like that. It's plugging it into a machine. In a vending machine, you can typically plug it in quicker than you can unlock the machine. So literally 10 or 15 seconds. And it can take any machine made in the last 20 years and bring it to the people.
Excellent. Excellent. I got to get one of those in my pocket. All right, Eric, you're not off the hook. All right, now, everybody knows Crane in this space, but Crane Connectivity Solutions is rather new, about a year or so in the works. Can you tell us a little bit about how it's been going for Crane Connectivity Solutions? Crane's easier.
Yeah.
And your strategy and your expansion plans, please.
Sure. So a couple things. So one, 12 months ago here, we announced Crane Connectivity Solutions to the industry, essentially. And the premise behind it is the fact that there's so much acceleration in technology right now that we need to combine our teams inside Crane together to enable a connectivity group to focus on innovative technology for Crane merchandising, for Crane payment, and quite frankly, for all unattended markets. And so in the past 12 months, we've been working on our vision and strategy and also innovation to do that. And it starts with our overall portfolio, our product vision, which is essentially developing a security-based first, right? Security is number one. So a secure, cloud-based software and hardware platform that essentially is used for unattended service providers. That's really what our strategy is. And we're trying to do three things. One is, as I talked about before, enable and facilitate payment, whether it's cash, mobile payment, contactless. That's number one. Number two is provide a connectivity solution that enables remote diagnostic management or device management, the ability to configure and change things on the fly, be able to monitor remotely. That's a number two item that we want to do. And then number three is increase operational and business efficiency through software platforms, mobile apps. So, one of the things that we've done is we're literally introducing multiple devices that satisfy that hardware, software platform that we're doing on both payment, digital advertising, mobile applications, and so forth. And that's really our strategy. And it's building one platform that not only satisfies the U.S., but globally.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. At the beginning, I said that we were approaching 2 million cashless devices in the marketplace. I'm interested in your thoughts, both of you, on do you think that cashless has reached a tipping point in our market, and if there are still folks out there that haven't committed to cashless, maybe we can talk a little bit about some of their myths and actual facts relative to the benefits of cashless payments. Paresh, why don't you start with, so where do you think we are with cashless in the marketplace?
Yeah, no, I think we've definitely reached the tipping point now where it's just becoming a standard. It's not a point of discussion anymore where you're putting a machine out there. You need to be able to take money, payment in all forms that the customer is walking around. With rising prices in the machines as well as the fragmentation of different wallets, if you will, what customers have in their pocket, you need to be able to take payment. And if you want to be in the business of selling product, then payment shouldn't be your barrier. Payment shouldn't be the thing that stops that transaction from happening. And so I think it's, going back maybe 15 or 20 years ago, when the dollar bill acceptor became ubiquitous, people didn't do ROI calculations to figure out, do I put a machine with a bill acceptor or do I just leave it coin only? Every machine just goes out. And I think that's kind of where we're getting to today.
Great. Eric, what are your thoughts?
I can't agree more than what Paresh is saying. It's amazing over the past 12 months, the prioritization of investment in electronic payment as well as connectivity. It's changed, quite frankly. It's the number one topic, and it's what everybody's wondering, how do I do it? And I think on your second part of your question, which was about what are the myths that we're overtaking and that we have to overcome, I think it's three of them that I see. The first one is, quite frankly, that it's expensive. The reality is it's not expensive. Adding payment alone, electronic payment, provides 20 to 30% sales uplift on your machines, no matter what type of machines they are. Secondly, it's 30 to 50% improvement on operational efficiency by adding the connectivity and the software and the business intelligence around it. So right there, expensive is relative. The second myth that I see is that it's complex. I mean, Paresh just showed you one example of simplicity, and like I've said, is part of our overall vision is make everything simplistic. Whether it's integrating PayRange into our connectivity box so you buy one hardware piece that also does NFC and contactless as well as mobile payment in one solution that you can sign up in less than 24 hours and install in less than 20 minutes and get that done. That to me is what we're driving towards. And so the myth of complexity is there. And the third one is that it's not just payment. Payment has been a significant driver, but the value of the connection and the remote monitoring and the business intelligence, we've always had data. Like Paresh has talked about, it goes beyond, and we've always had data, but now taking that data and actually answering questions and problems that you have is where I think the real value is. So I think those are the three myths that we're overcoming today.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, let's shift a little bit. So I'm sure a lot, we're here in Las Vegas, we're in North America, but I'm interested in your international plans. So what are you thinking about extending cashless beyond, the domestic borders here, and maybe just give us some thoughts on where this can go.
Well, so, right now PayRange is available in U.S. and Canada, but obviously Crane is a global company that is throughout the world. And one of our reasons for partnering with Crane was being able to help expand our technology and platform throughout the world. And there are some obvious areas of target, for example, Europe or Japan. But we're going to take that, and we're definitely looking at how do we get out there and trying to accelerate this growth as much as we can. Because the issues that we're facing here are the same issues elsewhere as well, in terms of trying to bring that cashless adoption to automated retail.
Agreed. Eric, any thoughts?
Absolutely. It has to go beyond North America. North America being Canada, U.S., and I like to include Mexico in there as well. It goes beyond all three. In Europe, EMEA for us is a significant growth area. We've grown over 50%, and we've actually acquired a company, Microtronic, in EMEA to expand electronic payment there. And so what Paresh and we've talked about, as long as it handles our first two strategic principles, enabling everything and giving access, whether it's mobile payment or others, and two, making it simplistic, we're looking to expand that across the board. And, it's one of the nice things that we can do here with the technology.
That's great. I see we're getting close to running out of time, but I wanted to ask one question. For the folks here in the audience, I'm sure some of them are actively thinking about deploying cashless technology. So for them, what are some of the things they should be thinking about now? And don't say call either of you. What should they be thinking about? What are their next steps?
Well, I can start off with that. So, one of the things that, just to make clear, because, our approach is different than just putting, say, example, taking cards on a machine or some of the other NFC-based payments. Ours is an app-based solution. And one of the questions people might have is, why do I need both, right? Or why can't I just, if I already have cards, why do I need this, or vice versa? I've already mentioned you want to take money any way the customer wants to pay. But the second issue is that the world is changing to the point where we're doing much more with mobile than we were doing even 5 or 10 years ago. People wonder, like, is anybody going to download the app? Well, last year there were 197 billion app downloads, right? So the question of do people download apps, that is already answered. But the question actually is how do you keep them engaged? Because what's happening out there is that on average, people use only 9 apps on a daily basis, only 30 over a month. So what that means is there has to be some type of consolidation there too. Like there has to be traction where you leverage a synergy and you build a bigger user base and a bigger base of machines where people can use it on. And that's what's exciting to us with the partnership with Crane is that we're working and joining forces because we know that will get us the momentum and adoption faster than if we did it individually on our own. And so this is what we're seeing is moving towards, is just getting this out there everywhere.
Eric, any thoughts on what they should think about?
Yeah, so I think everybody knows about this technology. It's not new. But the ultimate thing for me is change of habit. If you can change habit, whether it's your thought process on how you run your operations, your thought process on how you invest, your thought process on how you use a mobile app or contactless versus plug of a pin, it's all about change of habit. And I think we're at right now where if you say to yourself, I'm willing to look at altering my habit, then you're at the right point to says, let me learn more. And like I said, we have multiple introductions of new innovation this year. My 2 thoughts are, one, please go visit the 2 Crane booths that we have and see some of it, obviously, my 1 plug. And then
That's right, an open bar too.
And an open and 2 is before you enter the booth, I'd like you to ask and maybe write down what's the 1 or 2 problems you want to solve before you enter. Because I think that's the ultimate question when you're looking at technology and looking at investment.
Thank you. Well, I think we are out of time. I want to thank both of you for being such great guests. And hopefully everybody in the audience learned something new. And go cashless. Thank you.
Thank you.